Hello. In this video, I'm going to show you how to log in from SSH client to SSH server. But here, I have a SSH client. This is my third SSH client, which is a Windows. I'm going to use PuTTY and PuTTY generator in Windows and log in to a Linux server as my SSH server. Here you can see this is my Windows client. My client is Windows 10. I'm going to create a keeper, private and public key using PuTTY generator and log in to the Linux server without password or passwordless SSH authentication. This is my Windows 10. I'm going to log into a Linux server. I think it is clear for you. There are another client, but I'm going to use PuTTY. This is my Windows 10 client. It is running on VirtualBox, and I have another Linux server, which is my SSH server. In my Linux server, I'm going to use PuTTY, and if you go to your application, at first I'm going to ping the Linux server. We have Windows and Linux is connected to each other, and I can ping it. After that, I'm going to log into my Linux server using password. I'm going to input user and password. You can see I successfully log into my Linux server, and it is the IP address of my Linux server. In this step, I'm going to open the authorized key file, which is in the SSH directory, and here all public file is stored in this file. And if you go to your application and section PuTTY, you can find PuTTY generator application. Here, by pressing generator, you can create your public and private key. I'm going to use PuTTY to create this keeper, my public and the private key. After pressing generate, we should move our mouse over the blank area to create the public and private key. Here it is our public key. We can copy it directly from the application. Here I'm going to copy it and save it in a file. We can use this public file directly and copy it to the authorized key and save this with name public, and that's it. Or we can save the public key and private key using this button. So save this on the desktop with name pub, Okay, pop file created on my desktop, and save private key. Also save the private key on my desktop. And we can use this file. This is the file I copied when I generate key, and we have another file here called pop file. Let me open and compare these two files together. This is the file which I saved from the application, and this is the file I am copied while creating public key and private. You can see if I paste this file directly to the authorized key and test to log in to the app without password. I input the IP address of my Linux server, and section authentication, I should specify the private key which I'm going to use to log in to this server. And we're going to test it. After pressing open button, I input user. That's it. You can see I'm successfully logged into the application, to the Linux server. But if you saved file directly from application and you wanna use pub file, let me try to log in when I delete the pub file from authorized key. You can see here I can't log in without inputting password. I input password to log in it. Without, if my public file was unauthorized file, I can log in directly without inputting the password. And let's compare these two files. You can see if I copy this file and use it in authorized key, this won't work because it is not well organized and we can't use it in the authorized key. But I'm going to test it to clarify it for you. Here it is, and if I save it and try to log in PuTTY using my private key, you find, let me input the IP address. That doesn't work. You have to input a password to log in. So go back, and here you can see this is not a one line. It is multiple line, and our public key should be in one line, not in multiple lines. So it won't work. If we want, for example, you are trying to use this file, you should edit this file and make it clear, and make it in one file and use it in the authorized key. At first, I'm going to mention the encryption algorithm, delete extra line which is not useful for PuTTY and SSH, and after that make whole private key as one line, not multiple lines. After that, we can copy this private key and use it to log into Linux server without password. Now I can copy and paste to the authorized file. Here you can see there are another two public keys, and if I try to log in to the Linux server using my key, it should work. Input the IP address of the server. That's it. It worked, and it worked successfully. Hope you find it useful, and please like and subscribe if you find it useful, and introduce my channel to your friends. Best, wish the best for you.